Yeah, hello everyone. Now we are going to start the session. Before starting, I will just give a brief introduction about our expert. Our expert name is Dr. Dhaval Mehta sir. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So yeah, Dr. Dhaval Mehta sir is a doctorate in management and currently working as an assistant professor, Department of Business and Industrial Management. He has 17 years of postgraduate teaching experience. He has presented and published 30 research papers in national and international conferences. He has been the key resource person for the research methodology workshops organized at various levels through NIT, including NITs. He has published books on data analysis using Minitab, statistical analysis using R, machine learning using RRatel. He has organized various faculty development programs on data analysis using SPSS, AMOS, Minitab DOE, Stata, and more. More than 5,000 faculties have been trained for various research softwares. So now, today, he is going to take a session on classical statistical analysis and artificial intelligence. I hope you all enjoy the session, and I welcome Dr. Dhaval sir to please to conduct the session. Up to you, sir. Are you there, Dhaval sir?
Yeah, I'm there. Hello. Yeah. I was on mute. Sorry.
No problem, sir.
I'm sharing a screen with you now. Just tell me,
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
is it visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Jugal sir, have we any resource person discuss about any of the software in artificial intelligence? So if he has already discussed, I shall talk something new. I wanted to know that thing. Any
No, sir.
software? Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, can they talk with me? Can they chat with me?
Yeah, if you like, yeah, they can talk to you. They can chat with you as well. I think
Okay.
chatting will be more, convenient for them if they are not, speaking. That's fine because you can ask any question in chat box. I think they will respond. If not, then they can even talk also.
Yeah, fine.
Yes.
So, basically, this is a very new upcoming field. You must have heard from many resource person that data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, and there are many career prospects in it. But let us try to understand actually what we are trying to do in this case. Okay. And what is the state of affairs of the latest technologies which are available, which technology you should master depending upon your liking. Okay, so let us go one by one. Basically, we are doing the identification of the pattern. Now, can you tell me which will be the next number? Don't think it is a simple question, okay? Because I'm going to make it more complex. What will be the next number? Can anybody tell me? It will be, what will be the next number? Anybody? Don't chat. You can talk to me.
Yes, it is 5.
Yeah, 5. What will be the next number now?
25.
What will be the next number now?
Now a bit more tricky.
Right. Why? Because in first and second case, you were able to process the information very quickly, right? Because you know the pattern. But when something goes beyond the brain and it takes a lot of processing time, that what can be the next number? Who can be my next buyer? What can be the next calamity? Where the next earthquake will hit? What can be the next, how can be the next rainy season? So here everything comes down into next. What is next? So basically, we want to deploy all this technology, robust technology, and we want to say that possibly this can happen. And what we are trying to do is basically we are trying to reduce the uncertainty element. We may get success, we may not get success in the prediction, but that is not the matter. The matter is we are trying to reduce the uncertainty element as far as possible by using all sorts of algorithm and the softwares available. Data is the new oil according to the World Economic Forum, right? And the major industry which is there is now data. It's an emerging field. Now, who is generating the data? Can anybody tell me who is generating the data? The data is generated by which organizations are generating the data? Any idea? Anybody can talk to me. Who is generating the data? The data is generated by which organizations? Okay. So if I talk about before 30 years or 40 years, the data was generated by corporates, government, but there is a major shift in it. That now the data is generated by you. You means we are generating lots of data in terms of emails, Facebook posts, Instagrams, Twitter. So there are hell lot of, you can say, devices, hell lot of apps from which we are generating the data. Now the question arises, why we should analyze the personalized data? Why it is necessary that we should keep the track of this data? Because the major information is coming from this type of data. Okay, I'll tell you one story of Singapore, and it is a real story. In Singapore, they are also having a cabs, Ola cabs, and they found that 4 p.m. Okay, after 4 p.m. There is a acute shortage of cabs. Okay, so they tried to hire the data scientist, or you can say the statistician, to find out that what is wrong here. Why we are having our cabs are not running, but when people are demanding the cabs, they are not getting it. So what's wrong? So they felt that there must be a shortage of the cabs, and because of this, people are not able to get it. So they've deployed more cabs on the roads, but still the demand was there, and the company was not able to cater them. So now the need was there that let's try to hire some qualitative data analysis, and they started to analyze that post which is done by the Twitter, which is done on the Twitter and all that way. So by analyzing that thing, the suspense of the story is that after 4 p.m. normally in the Singapore, 4 to 5 p.m. normally in Singapore, it rains. And when it rains, there is a too much water logging. And when there is a water logging, these cab drivers don't run their cabs. Now, this information was not easily available in the structured data set, and that's the reason we went for analyzing the tweets which had been done. So don't think that there is no information in this. If you want to find out who is tweeting for terrorism, who is tweeting for anything which can harm the society, so we have to go and we have to work in the qualitative data structure, right? Just imagine the data which is being generated. It is 294 billion emails. I'll show many technologies. I've done the screen recording of many softwares, qualitative data, structured data. I will show you one software also in which we can go for it, and I will show you the all sets of softwares which can be deployed, and you can build your career in one of them, right? So how much data is generated? Just imagine that this much data is being generated. Okay, so data generation heights, while we reach in 2025, we will be having 463 exabyte data, and we require this many DVDs per day to handle this data. Now the data has changed its form. Okay, uh, we must. There is a whole concept which is there is now big data. One thing is that the data which is big is not a big data. Understand that thing. Okay, it's a totally a myth. The data which is big is not a big data. Then what is the definition of big data? The definition of the big data is it has got 4 V's. That is, it has got the volume, it has got the variety, it has got the veracity, and the velocity. The volume, the every day you see the data which is being generated on YouTube, tweets, log data, event data. Okay, so this is all volume. Variety, structured, unstructured, semi-structured, and we cannot imagine we cannot even define some data structures. I'm not trying to say that we cannot define. For example, the data which is generated in the SAP file, .shp file, like the spatial data pattern. Okay, so we want to analyze all sorts of such data because we are getting an information from so many sources that what to rely is now a big question mark, right? Jugal sir, am I audible and visible now? Hello, Jugal sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
fine. Now there is a velocity in the data. Velocity means the rate of analysis and the speed at which it is generated, and we have to keep the tab of it. Those who were working on Excel, that it was completely, you can see, a static data. The data was not at all in the motion. We used to get the data, we used to do the analysis, and analysis what analysis was a bar chart, percentage, and that sorts of analysis was being done. But with the advancement in the technology, the statistics has gone far beyond the bar chart, far beyond this mean, median, and mode. So where it has gone, I will show that thing. Okay, see the data at rest, that is a data in motion, data in many forms, and data in doubt. There is uncertainty, right? Now, what is the demarcation between the structured and unstructured data? And why is it necessary? Should we do it or not? Yes, we should do it. The demarcation is necessary because when we rise from structured to unstructured data, the need of the software goes on changing continuously. Structured data, when I talk about structured data, it is having a fixed schema, fixed rows and columns, fixed database. Okay, so if we talk about all the database, or all, you can say, the languages which has been developed, all the language at present, they require Oracle or Java or anything. You require a fixed database, fixed schema is there. But I am seeing this development from last, you can say, 12 to 13 years. Now this fixed schema is no longer valid, no longer, in the sense if we will have a complete unstructured data. And I will show you today one recording of mine, that if it is an unstructured data, then what to do, how to go about. Okay. Then there is a quasi-structured clickstream data, unstructured data. Most of you must experience something on YouTube, that you watch the particular video and immediately it will give you the suggested video according to that. So basically it is capturing your ID, and on that basis it is giving you a customized solution that probably your next watch can be this, a suggested video. You will like this video. So that is all clickstream data or a log data. You can definitely build your career in log data also. The data types: structured, unstructured, geographic, real-time, natural language data, time series data, event data, network data, and linked data. I am at present working in these are my at present my domains, or rather I am working in it. So structured data, unstructured data, time series data, and event data. Still for me, somewhat natural language processing I have done, that is sentiment analysis and you can say word analysis. This has been done, but I have not actually explored the network data, linked data, or geographic data. So you can say the sky is limit to analyze, and you require experts in all these fields. The level, depending upon the level of measurement of data, again the software changes. So if your objective is quantitative data analysis, then you can use all sorts of softwares like SPSS and Excel. But when I talk about qualitative, immediately the requirement of the software will change. You probably require the Atlas.ti or NVivo software. Okay, so depending upon this. Okay, now what are the advances which have happened in statistical analysis? And my lecture has been on this topic only, that classical statistical analysis and what is artificial intelligence. Okay, so the roots of any artificial intelligence or any machine learning or data science are there in statistics. So you cannot jump directly to data science or machine learning without understanding the statistics, because most of them are running on the probability rules, and most of them are deploying the probability rules, and therefore it is necessary that you should understand the statistics, then only proceed ahead. Now, descriptive. So descriptive was what, that we used to collect the data, and then the question was, what is happening in my business? That was what we were doing. Okay, so that was a post dissection, nothing new. That who are my customers, which is the area in which the sales is good, all that. But then the need was there. Then we came down a drill. We started drilling more, and that was diagnosis. The diagnosis was, why is it happening? Well, so we started to find out the root cause, that why our sales are going down. Okay, then the time came in, that is something which is predictive and prescriptive. So the current state of affairs in statistical analysis is prediction. Okay, what's likely to happen, what can be my business strategies, and in prescriptive, what are the recommended actions which can be taken. So I will show you the software in both predictive and prescriptive, and how they are prescribing that you should do this or this. Okay, now types of study for structured data. Now structured data again has been classified into three components: the cross-sectional study, the longitudinal study, and panel data. These are parts of artificial intelligence only. Okay, structured data. Now structured data, cross-section data, longitudinal data, panel data. The cross-section study, normally it can be analyzed in SPSS. But as soon as I say it is a longitudinal study in which the time factor is there, then you will have to shift the software, and you will have to understand this thing by using eViews or Gretel. And in panel data, again the software changes, possibly eViews, and for more advanced statistics you require microfilm. See the unstructured data. So we are having, in unstructured data analysis, we are having natural language processing, sentiment analysis, competitor, and you require, again I'm saying this thing repeatedly, you require different softwares for each and every case. I remember you can say very glaringly one example which was during the elections of USA, that this past president Donald Trump had hired one person, and he was an Indian, and what he did was, what his role was. His role was basically a reverse engineering. Okay, and what he did was that he tried to find out the problems in each and every area, right? And whenever a speech was being delivered, he tried to do the reverse engineering. Reverse engineering means that these words should be spoken this many times. Okay, you stress on this particular area, and on that basis, first of all, this Indian person who was there, You can see that thing on YouTube also and Google also. The speech designer of Donald Trump. So what he did was he took the survey of the people, and on that basis a speech was being made, and he made it sure that the speech exactly goes in the way in which the people want it. And that's the level of analysis which is being done. Right. So that's a speech analysis. People are also running the algorithm to find out that what is the similarity between these two speeches. So such things are also developing. See the data file types. Okay, we used to have only 4 data file types. That's a doc file and XLS, and see now we are having so many file types, and we have to analyze each and every file. So what was there in Excel and what are the advanced analytics? So in Excel, then Excel saw something, the development took place, and that's a business intelligence and advanced analytics. So in business intelligence, people started interacting with the data. But in advanced analytics, now human element is extracted, or rather say that a human intervention is no longer. Now maths, stats and computers start interacting with the data. Okay, you must have seen, those who are investing in stock market, that now there are algo trading which has been which is there, algo trading. So you don't have to do anything. This algo trading, what they will do, they will try to find out the gap, and immediately they will try to do the trading in fraction of seconds, which is not even possible with the human eye. And so fast they interact, and they try to reap the profits for you. That's a algo trading which is there in latest in the stock market. The sources of data which we used to capture was, traditionally we used to capture the data by Excel file or CSV file. Now at present we are using Hadoop and NoSQL. This type of data files we are using. Why we are using Hadoop? Because Hadoop data file structure or a database structure is very compatible with R software. And what is R? Why R is necessary? Why people? There are always, when I deliver my session anywhere, there the first question is there, sir, we are having SPSS, then why R? I will answer that also, why R. Okay. So the forms of data is, first the data used to be static, now it is dynamic. The types of data from structured to unstructured we have shifted. So descriptive statistics, if you are doing descriptive statistics, probably you are in 90s. If you are doing diagnostics, then you are in 2000 and 2004. If you are doing predictive, 2005, 2011, and cognitive is the present thing which is there. Now IBM is a company which is having the full range of software from descriptive to cognitive. So if I talk about in descriptive, the basic SPSS statistics, SPSS is a descriptive statistics. IBM Watson, whose demo I will give today, IBM Watson, okay, is more of predictive analysis. And IBM Cognos is a last. So you can say IBM is trying to develop the full range of statistics from descriptive to cognitive. What are the things which are being used, which are the models which are being used, or what are the upcoming things which are there? So when I talk about the business value and the complexity, we first used to do the reporting only by Excel. That was only the MIS which we used to do. Then the dashboards came into the picture. Then forecasting and statistical modeling we are doing. Then machine learning, neural network and deep learning. Machine learning can be done in many softwares. And at present we are having chatbots and robots. Okay, so what has changed? The regression techniques which we were using is completely 100 years old, right? And this technique does not have any value at present in the industry, right? So the regression has been taken over by the new advanced regression techniques, that is lasso, reach, and sparseness. The logistic regression is 30 years old, and therefore we require more advanced algorithms like random forest or XGBoost or AdaBoost. These are the types of algorithms which are there in the market. The chi-square which we used to do is now no longer valid, and instead of chi-square we require there is a chi-square automatic interaction detector. We require that. That's a CHAD analysis which is there. Okay, so let us. I'll give you one simple explanation. That first, people used to fight the war with bows and arrows, which was being replaced by cannons, which was being replaced by machines, and then it is replaced by robots. So that the same thing has happened in the statistics also. Descriptive analytics has been replaced by predictive and prescriptive. Okay, so how our objectives have started shifting. First it was report generation, then it is now we are in statistical analysis and data mining, and based on this we will do optimization and planning, right? So what are the advances in the software? So first we used to work on Excel, then we started working on SPSS and Minitab, then MATLAB, then Microsoft Azure, Orange, R, OpenN, TensorFlow, then SPSS Modeler, Veka, 9. If you talk about machine learning or if you talk about artificial intelligence, there are two softwares which are very neck to neck. One is 9 and another is RapidMiner. So if you want, you can, and they can handle all sorts of files. Okay. And the last is the level is IBM Watson Analytics. So these are the softwares which have changed over this year. So you must be seeing the hoardings that the data science, learn data machine learning in 1 month. I'll tell you, one life is not enough to understand the machine learning. Yes, I'm seriously saying that thing, because why one life is not enough? Because just imagine that you want to analyze the image file. Okay, so the algorithms are different, softwares are different. If you want to do video analysis, things are different. If you want to do the structured data, machine learning for structured, unstructured, semi-structured, for all of them, the packages are different, statistics are different, and therefore it requires a lot of time to understand. But you can definitely master on this. Now, at each level of data science, you require a different software. So if I say that, if I talk about data collection and data ingestion, we require people in Cassandra, Hadoop, Hive, Apache, SQL Server. If I talk about data cleaning, then there are many you can say many open source softwares, paid softwares which can work on data cleaning, like Trifecta is there, or OpenRefine is there. You can freely download. They are all open source softwares in which you can do the data cleaning. Okay, for data exploration and data visualization, the upcoming field is there are 4 softwares which are very neck to neck, and I provide the training on them. Is one is Tableau. Okay, another is the Power BI, another is Google Data Studio, another is ClickView, still another is Looker, which are just working on data exploration and data visualization. Okay, so I will give you the demo of that how Tableau is working, right? I will give you the demo of RapidMiner. I will give you the demo of IBM Watson, that how it is working, right? So what are the other tools? So if you want to build your career in artificial intelligence, make sure that you are registered with GitHub, because they give you a lot of codes and it is completely free. Okay, one more thing, you don't require to register with any, you can say, costly programs where they are charging very hefty amount for understanding this thing. YouTube is completely free and you can learn all these things. Tutorials are available. Okay, so you should be a self-learner. Now, who is a data scientist, right? And this is a question which is being always asked, that how can I become a data scientist, or how can I become a master in artificial intelligence or machine learning? The data scientist comes exactly in between. He should have the knowledge of statistics, little bit of programming, the business acumen and the communication. Then you can come in this set in which you are the perfect data analyst. Okay, you just see that when one of the thing is not overlapping, what happens. So if you are only good in communication and in business, you are a good salesperson, but you require a knowledge of statistics and programming, then only you can come here. What is the demand of data analysis? The demand is, you can say, skyrocketing demand is there. But one thing which I've experienced is that we say that the demand of data scientists is there. And I'm working in many industry, I'm working with many industrial professions, I'm working with many, you can say, education. But what is a problem which is facing? Just understand. The first problem which is facing is whom to hire. Okay, what is the first problem? Whom to hire. Okay, the second question is, if we have hired the data scientist, then what work should be taken from them? Okay, so there are, you can say, there are places which I have seen that the data scientists are recruited and they are doing work on Excel, or they are doing work on, you can say, SPSS. No, they are not for that purpose. They are not for that purpose. But still, you can say there is a lot of air in understanding that who these people are and how the work should be taken from there, how we should recruit them. I have seen some organizations which are saying that we are giving the training to data scientists and Excel is being taught. No, this Excel is not for them. Okay, for them the softwares which you require is, this should be good in R and Python. Okay, so by 2020 the demand is skyrocketing. Who will teach me the business analytics? So I have already answered that question. The organized institutes, Edureka, Udemy, DataCamp. But one thing I always believe, and that is Swayam portal. Is anybody aware about Swayam portal? Anybody aware about Swayam portal? Anybody? Anybody? Don't are you writing in chat box? Is anybody aware about chat box? Yes, good. It's really nice. Now this is an initiative which is done by the Indian government, and this Swayam portal is so nice that I will tell you one thing. It is developing something which is known as a parallel learning. It's an app. It's basically an Android app, Swayam app. You can download, and there are so many courses. There are courses for fashion designing, there are courses for machine learning, there are courses for data science, and the training is provided by the best faculties around the globe, not from nation, around the globe, and you get the good certificate from them. Okay, 40 hours teaching is there, and the fees, let me tell you one thing. What are the fees? The fees are that if you are a student and if you provide your some certificates, then the fees are zero. You don't have to pay any fees. And suppose you are professional, then you have to pay a fee around 2,000 to 4,000 rupees, and just that much is the amount. And if you don't want to have a certificate, no fees. You don't have to pay anything. It is only that you want a certificate, then you pay the fees. Okay, and the lectures are given by the best people. The fourth is self-learner. As like me, I started learning on my own. So what can be your role? You can become a data analyst, a data scientist, and data engineer. Okay, so data analyst, what are the skills which are required in data skills? So you require an SQL knowledge, R and Python, data cleaning, data visualization, and data and statistics is mandatory. You cannot run away if you are a data analyst. You cannot run away without understanding the statistics. Data analyst is not possible. If you want to become data scientist, which we are talking about, that is talking about artificial intelligence, you should be having a knowledge of statistical modeling, supervised, unsupervised machine learning, data visualization tools. Okay, Now let me quickly come down to the roadmap. Okay, and after that I will show you the demo. Wait a minute before that. Just observe one thing. Okay, just observe one thing. And these are the techniques which are required in cost section study. The only thing which you should observe is the software used. Okay, just observe one thing, and you will be able to understand that why I'm stressing on R. If your data is a cross section study, the software which you can use is SPSS, R, Stata, and Minitab. R is there. Okay. Next, time series study. R is there? Yes. Panel data. R is there? Yes. Specific techniques for marketing. R is there? Yes. Production and operation research. R. For medicine. R. For bioconductor. R. For biotechnology. Want to learn painting. Yes, R can also do the painting. R. If you want to learn music. R. R can work in each and every domain, right? So specific techniques for HR, R is there. So you can just imagine the you can say the range of R is very big, and that's the reason you should learn R. Okay. I just want to show you one roadmap. Okay, just one more thing, and then see. This is the train which you have to see. This is a machine learning train, right? It's so big. So if I start with the journey from the blue line, is it visible? PPT is visible. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see, I will share the screen. I will share the PPT with you. Don't worry. I will share the PPT with you. Don't worry. Just see properly. Okay. So if you want to understand the artificial intelligence, it starts its train from the fundamentals, the blue. Okay, from the blue. So it is matrices and linear algebra, the binary tree. I'm talking about here, this blue line. Okay, then CAPM theory, tabular data, what are OLAP cubes, multi-dimensional scaling, what is extraction, transforming and loading, those who are coming from the computer background. Then reporting, then JSON, that is a JavaScript database, NoSQL. Once you are cleared with this, then you enter into the zone of statistics. So you have to understand what is descriptive statistics, exploratory, histograms, percentages, probability theory, Bayes theorem, random variable, and ANOVA, skewness, okay, central limit, Monte Carlo, hypothesis testing, p-value, chi-square, estimation, regression, covariance, correlation, causation, and Euclidean distance. Now, again, when this is clear, then only you will be able to understand the machine learning. That is, what are the categorical variables, supervised, unsupervised, training, classification, prediction, what is lift, overlifting. So you can say that still my train has reached only to this. I have only traveled from this purple to this blue to this yellow. Still there are many paths which are not explored by me, and I always refer this to understand. Okay, on red line I have worked on Tableau, IBM, D3.js still I have not worked, decision tree I have worked, line charts, tree map, all these things I have worked. Still I have not worked on transformation, data fusion, data integration. So one life is not enough. Okay, so what are the toolbox which are available? Just see, all of you, the toolbox. So your train will only of MS Excel, Java, Python, R Studio, Rattle, Weka, Nime, RapidMiner, Spark, Flume. Then only you will be able to harness the latest technology which is there, right? So now let me show you some demonstration. These are actually recorded sessions of mine which were there. Why I had recorded this session? Because one thing is that this software works on cloud. Second thing, it requires fast internet connections, and therefore it takes a lot of time. So I had, you can say, edited the video to make it fast so that I can give the demo of it. The disclaimer from my side is I am not doing marketing of any software. I am just trying to make you aware about the latest technologies which are there in the industry. So the first software which I want to show you is IBM Watson Analytics. Okay, and in that case, yeah, I'll start with the tweets. Okay, if you remember, I had talked about unstructured data. Anybody recalls unstructured data? Okay, now see this. This is the data. Just imagine, can we analyze such type of data? Is it possible? This is data. Yes, this is an actual data, right? How to analyze it? Basically, these are the tweets which has been done by, you can say these are the tweets which has been done by the customers for the airlines for the problems they have faced. Okay, I will show you some way in which you can extract the tweets of the products also. Okay, let me show you first that thing, that how the tweets were extracted. Okay, all of you can write down one tweet. Sorry, you can write down one website. Okay, CSV sentiment analysis. I hope it works. I am having it or not, I don't know. Wait. Yeah, can you see this tweet sentiment to CSV? Is it visible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now click on it, right? It is open source. Just click on it. Right. Now you can write down anything. For example, I will write down the name of the product. Okay. I want to see about, for example, Samsung. Okay, Samsung. Okay, search. Right. So it will immediately give me the last 100 tweets which have been done on that particular brand. Positive are 18%, negative are 2%, and neutral. We don't stop here. We can go and we can even download the tweets, and immediately the last 100 tweets will be there. Just see. Okay, the last 100 tweets will be captured, right? The last 100 tweets will be captured. If you want to have more tweets, you can go for it. Then there is something. See, these are the tweets which are there, right? 24 hours, go fast. All these are the tweets. After taking these tweets into your system, now what I can do, I can feed these tweets into the software which is IBM Watson Analytics. Now the good news is that this IBM Watson Analytics is completely free. Okay, this IBM Watson Analytics which is there is completely free for those who are working in the university structure. Just send the mail to them, and if you are and just send them the mail to them, and just your credentials that I am the professor in this university, or I'm working here, or even a research scholar, then they will give you one year completely free. Purpose. Many softwares they give you completely free for academic purpose, and there is a vast opportunity to understand all these softwares. Okay, let's come down. You can register yourself. Now see how it works. It starts working that these are the tweets. Now let us capture these tweets on the software. This is a software, it works. Okay, so these tweets are there now, and when I click on it, it will completely convert. Okay, just wait. Okay, now the unstructured data which was there is now converted into the structured data. Just see, entire data has been changed. Okay, it has classified the year, right? Just see, it has been done on its own. We have not done anything. Okay, now what we can do in this, once the data is converted into the structured form, half of our work is done. Now it will tell me that what is the distribution of the negative reason, that what are the tweets which are being done. Okay, so I get something like this, that the negative reasons are bad flight, damaged luggage, late flight, lost luggage, and these are the reasons which has been done. Now the late flight, right? So the late flight, I can further go down and try to find out that the late flight is, this is known as a drilling approach. So the late flight problem more is there in United Airlines. This is actual data, right? I can again further go down, further drill down, and I can say that if the problem is there in United Airlines, then it is from the which location, in which location there are many late flights. So I will click on tweet location. Right. So I'll immediately get the idea that the San Francisco Bay Area is having more problem of the late flight. I can further drill down, and I can also find out that in which time zone it is happening. Okay, so just imagine how much I can drill, and I can drill the data, and I can find out. I can even go to the level that who are the employees there that because of which the late flight is happening. So don't think that the big boss is not watching you. Just imagine that the data, you can say the frisking of the data is so at such a level that anybody can be located. There is one software, NVivo. If it is possible, I will show you that thing. We can also find out the person who has done a particular tweet from his ID, and we can locate that person from NVivo, right? So here you can see this is a drilling which is being done, right? Now what is the analysis which can be done, right? What is the analysis? The analysis which can be done is I can find out all chi-square, all associations on its own. We don't have to do anything. Now see, what is the predictive modeling? Okay, that why the airline problem is there. Okay, so now comes the prediction. See, the records are there, the decision rules have been generated, and here on left hand side I get all the statistics which are there. You see the chat classification is there, right? And this is the prediction, how much neutral. Each and every analysis is ready for us. Okay, we have just used the clicks. Now if I want to find out that what are the major reasons for what is driving for, you can say, the problem of the late flight. Okay, then I can go from here, and I can also have a drivers. Here it is there or not there. I will show you another file. Okay, what is the contribution of tweet over the day? Right. So on which day there were more positive sentiments in the tweet, more negative sentiments, I can go and analyze day wise, right? Day wise, that in which I can go according to the airlines, right? Is it clear? Now this is just talking about a prediction, but what can be the prescriptive analytics? Let me show you that thing. Okay, what can be the prescriptive analytics? So in this case, there is one software which is known as RapidMiner, right? And in this RapidMiner, yeah, customer churn. This is the actual data which has been taken, and I want to find out that my customers are churning because of which reason, and I want to drill down. And if they are because of this reason, what I can predict about the next customer, right? So this is the basically the auto module of RapidMiner which is being used. So first, let me show you the data. The data is related to the customer churn data set. This is the data, right? First row, first column is churn, loyal churn, the loyal customer, or they are going to churn or not, gender, male or female, age, the payment method that they are paying through, last transaction amount, right? Basically this data is related to use with a mobile company, that will they retain with us or they are going to leave. Okay, so now your artificial intelligence, your statistics can have three objectives: predict, cluster and outlier. So here I want to predict. So there are 578 customers which are loyal and 322 which are churning, right? Now what are the variables which I will include in my model? So gender, age. Which are the algorithms which I will do? Naive Bayes, generalized, logistic, deep learning, decision tree. Run. So when I start running this algorithm will create the artificial brain. Okay. Normally, the gradient boost requires a lot of time because it is the latest algorithm. That is, there are two boostings algorithm like gradient and extreme boost, which are considered to be the best algorithms. This particular thing I have discussed in my book, Machine Learning Using RRatel. Okay, you can see both the books are available on Amazon. Statistical Analysis Using R and Machine Learning Using RRatel. I will also show you RRatel today, how it is working. Just wait for a minute. I will scroll it. Okay, it's ready. Now this brain is ready. Now there are some statistics which are being compared, that which algorithm suits our data the best, and on that basis I will have to select that algorithm. Now see how the data, how this software talks with the data. As soon as I change male female, immediately that changes will be happening dynamically here. When I scroll the age, you can just see what is happening. Which algorithm it is working? The algorithm is Naive Bayes algorithm which is working, right? Depending upon the last transaction, what is the effect on churning? Depending upon the payment method. Now these are all statistics on the basis of which we evaluate that which algorithm is better. But the power is not this. The power is now coming on the screen. That is, we can use this. Just a minute. So for each algorithm, now comes the optimization. Okay. Now what this is doing, the last phase of prescriptive analytics, which we started my PPT from. Okay. Now there is a new customer whose age is 35, whose gender is female. Last transaction he has done of somewhere around 4,000 rupees. Okay. So based on this artificial intelligence, the payment method, cash, tell me, will this customer churn or is a loyal customer? So that is the state of affairs, or that is the way people. So this is not a good customer. He will definitely churn 83%. You can see the chart. This is prescriptive analytics. Is it clear? So this is the way you get the call from the company, that they try, based on your transaction or based on your payment method, they will try to predict that possibly he is going to churn. Now I'll show you one more software, that is RStudio. Okay, and in RStudio there is something which is known as Rattle. Now this Rattle can use the power of all the machine learning algorithms. Basically, interface, and therefore I like it very much. It is completely free. Again, library Rattle. Enter. There is no package called Rattle. Okay, install.packages. It is possible. I will show you the NVivo also. Okay, done. Library Rattle. Rattle. Okay, so in case of predictive analytics, the softwares which you can work on are Google Colab, 9, Orange, SPSS Modeler. They are all best. If I show you the demo of machine learning, Orange, I am not having it. Again, Orange is completely free. Then just a minute. Yeah, model evaluation and prediction. Model evaluation. It is, you can say, a best software for canvas based. You have to select just the file from here, right? Which data, which analysis you want to do, connect it, tree viewer, and it will start the analysis. Okay, it is just a canvas based software, right? So it gives you, just you have to go on doing the connections, and you can use you can have machine learning algorithms. You can use all the machine learning algorithms. It can identify structured file, and in unstructured file it can identify audio file and image file also. Okay, so this is very, you can say, a good software to learn. Just a minute. It's free. Again, it is free. Orange. You can use Veka. Veka is also very nice software for data mining. Just a minute, it is taking some time. Actually, my laptop has been formatted, and that's the reason I am facing this problem. Meanwhile, if you are having any questions, please ask. Any questions if you are having, please ask.
So if anyone have any question, you can ask also, or you can just type in the chat box as well. There is one question, sir. Can you please share the software list and other videos example if you have?
Yeah, I am sharing the my entire file only.
Great, sir.
Yeah, I will share the PPTs also. I'll share everything. Don't worry. I'll share it. Okay.
Sir, I'm just new to this artificial intelligence and machine learning and everything, and I've been teaching here subject probabilistic graphical models.
Uh-huh.
So I need some guidance. Means if you have any other examples or any some practically how can we explain to students with short examples. So please share with us.
Yeah, sure, sure. I'll share my number. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And you can be remain in touch with me. Now see
Yes,
this
sir.
software. Okay. This is the software visible?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now see how it works. If I say it is having a default weather data set, right? See, it is a default data set. And here the date is there, location, minimum temperature, maximum temperature, and what I want to predict is will it rain tomorrow or not. So I have collected all sorts of data, right? So each variable of either input, target, risk, it either it is a for identification purpose, ignore or wait, right? So four roles it can take. Now your serial number which is there is for the identification purpose. No other roles are there, right? And will it rain tomorrow or not? Now this software has been made in such a way that first you go in data, understand the data. Okay, how much is a training which you want to keep and how much is a testing you want to keep. Now what is this training and testing? The training and testing means that you train the brain, the artificial intelligence based on some, you can say 70% of the data set, and after the training you use remaining 30% data set for testing purpose. In a layman language, if I talk about this thing, then when you are giving a training to your students and you are and you say that these are the 70 MCQs, okay, now this 70 MCQs which are there, right, on which you are providing the training, and if you ask the same set of 70 MCQs in the exam, they are definitely going to do well, because the algorithm is definitely going to do well because on that data set the training was being done. So now the actual testing will come when you provide them the 30 new MCQs to the students, and this is what exactly we are doing in it. We divide the data set into 70-30, right? 70-30, or 70 for training, 15 for evaluation, and 15 for testing, right? So normally I don't use anything in evaluation. So 70, 0 and 30. On that basis, the data set will be divided. After that is done, the next thing which is being done is you tell your data type is categorical, numeric or survival. Now based on category, if it is a categorical, your algorithms will be different. If it is numeric, your algorithm will be. So I keep the default setting, that is auto mode. After the auto mode is completed, I will say explore. Now in this explore, what are the things which I can get? I can get the summary of the data sets. What is the basics? What is the kurtosis or skewness in this? Just execute and it will give me all the answers. See, it is giving me all the answers, right? What are the basic statistics? Once this is clear, then I will have to go for that. I want to understand the relationship of each variable with the target variable. Okay, and on its own it will divide the variable into the continuous and the categorical. Categorical means See, what is the categorical data? Will it rain today? Yes or no? Yes or no, male, female, buyers, non-buyers, purchasers, non-purchasers. These are all categorical data. But when we are measuring something on metric scale means height, weight, such data is a continuous, right? So such data is a continuous data set. Now I want to see that what is a relationship of will it rain tomorrow or not with the rain today. And when I click on it and I say execute, immediately it will plot the graph. Immediately it will plot the graph. See this. Right. Still we are not in the mode of prescription. This is still we are in the descriptive statistics only, that we are trying to find out possible reasons of the rain. So we can say that rain today, no. Okay, rain today, no. So rain tomorrow, yes. So if it is rain today, no, then how many instances it has happened that if it is rain today, it has not rained, tomorrow it has rained. So there are 28 instances, right? If it is rain today, no. Will it rain tomorrow? No. Then there are 178 instances, right? So first thing I can do is okay. What else I can do? I can even plot the relationship of each and every variable on histogram, and I can try to find out that what is the relationship which is being shown. See that will it rain tomorrow? Does it depend on the temperature or not? So the blue line is for it will rain, and pink line is for it will not rain tomorrow, right? So it is giving me the distribution. Based on this, I will extract that these are the most significant variables on which the tomorrow's rainfall is dependent. Okay, let us go back. After this, basically we are just trying to explore the data. After exploring the data, then if it is necessary, we transform the data. Basically, transforming this data is when it is necessary to convert the continuous variable into the categorical. Otherwise, if it is not necessary, don't go for it. Then the next stage is start using the model. Now in this model, it is giving me an option that which algorithm you want to use. So the algorithm which you can use is decision tree, random forest, boosting algorithms, support vector machines, linear and neural net. So I say that okay, you use this execute, and it will give me all the rules based on which tomorrow the rain will happen. Okay, there was one workshop which we had organized for this, and it was 14 hours workshop, 2 days complete workshop on how to work on Rattle. Right now, see this decision rules for layman, it is very difficult to understand. So they have came out with a very novel concept to make things simple. I'll say draw, and as soon as I say draw, it gives me all the rules in the decision tree, that what are the conditions under which it will rain. So it gives me the decision tree, right? So if wind is coming from this, is the wind coming from this? Yes. Then you go this side. No. Then you go this side. So these are the decision trees. Now got the problem. This decision tree, what there has a problem, that as soon as I change the seed means the entry data point. As soon as I change the seed, okay, the model will change. Okay, and you can see here, it is having a new decision tree. So what was the conclusion? The conclusion was that this decision tree is changing every time. and how we can rely on this, that which are the parameters which are which are of most importance on the basis of which I can say that it will rain or not. So they came out with one concept, and the concept was the random forest. Okay, the concept was random forest. Now what is this concept? Let us try to understand. See, they said that when you are running the algorithm for one time, you get the answer for one decision tree. Okay, one tree is generated, this tree. But when you are running it for another time, again another decision tree is generated. So they said it is fine. We will run this algorithm for 500 times and we will generate 500 trees. Okay, or possibly 1000 trees. And on that basis, which are the most important variables which are there, we will average out, or rather we will do the voting that in this variable was important. So you can say that out of 500 trees, in 500 trees, these are the variables which are of importance, and when we will do it for so many times, we will get the best variable. And that is the reason when you go in forest, they will ask that how many trees you want to plant. Okay, you want to run the algorithm how many times, execute, and it will say that you are going to run. I will say yes, install the random forest package, and then the algorithm will start running. Yes. Okay, when this is being done, I just say give me the important variables, and immediately it will give me all the variables because of which the rain will occur. So the variable importance based on accuracy and Gini coefficient. So wind direction at 9 AM is of most important, wind speed at 9 AM is of most important. Done. Now this is being done. Now how to evaluate that which algorithm is better? And so that purpose, they are having the concept of confusion matrix. See this confusion matrix? Okay, you will have the confusion matrix in both of them, in both the algorithm, right? Evaluate, execute, right? This algorithm you will have for decision matrix also and for random forest also, because we have run two models. If I go on running for AdaBoost, it will give me for AdaBoost also, support vector machine also, linear also, neural net also. Okay. Now, what this algorithm is? What is this confusion matrix? Confusion matrix is basically that how many times we predict it and actually it happened. Now see, just see here. There are 45 instances such in which the algorithm predicted that it will not rain, predicted, and actually it did not rain. It is a good thing. No on both the sides. Okay, there are 4 instances such that when we predicted that it will rain and actually it rained. Okay, so what is wrong here? The wrong here is this, that we predicted that it will rain and it did not rain. So there are 2 such instances. Okay, there are 3 instances in which we said that it will not rain and it rained. So 5 in total, 3 plus 2, 5 is the error in our model. 5 times is the error. Okay, how many times the error is there in random forest? 2 plus 1. It means that my random forest model is more good than the decision tree model. Okay, that is being done. After that, this is being done. Now, next what? Next is I will enter my new data file, CSV file. I will fetch the new data set from here. Okay, I will give the new data set, entire new data set I will give from here in the format, and then I will say that execute, or you tell me that under this scenario will it rain or not. It is exactly like the RapidMiner which we had done in RapidMiner, which we had done, that under this new combinations tell us that the customer will churn or not. So here also, after training the entire model, when I give the entire new data set of new combinations, just you have to give the CSV file from here. Okay, at present I am not having that file from here, and just execute. It will tell you the percentages that the 80% chances are there that it will rain or it will not rain. Okay, and what are the variables which I will consider? The variables which I will consider are based on the model which I have selected, right? So this is all about machine learning. This is all about statistical analysis. Talking about me, just 2 minutes more, not more than that. I am here. So these are the books which are there. This book is already there in the market. You can see statistical analysis using R software. This book, the middle one book, is coming in this, possibly in this next month, with the international publisher. The entire data science is now there in one book using R software. It includes structured data analysis, unstructured data analysis. This book is being published from Germany, Lambert publication. This is also coming with the another Indian publisher. They have agreed to publish it, but at present this book is very costly. It is somewhere around 5,000. This book is already there, right? This Minitab, I am working on it and I'm trying to make it new. This is also one of the softwares which is being used in data analysis. These are my these are the softwares on which I speak, right? These are the softwares, right? This is my contact details. You can just send me hello on this WhatsApp number, and I will send you the link by which you can join my WhatsApp channel, so that you can get the notification of all my upcoming programs which are there, right? All upcoming programs which are there related to data science or softwares, you will get the notification. So this is my contact details. So thank you. Over to you, Jugal sir. Hello.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really a nice session. So if anyone wants to ask any question, ask.
Any questions are there, please ask. Any questions are there, please ask. Any questions? Any feedback about the session? Did you got any good vibes, or you can say good knowledge?
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, we are going to take feedback from each and every participant.
Yeah.
So yeah, because you give very good, different software, how to use it, different data set, how to get it, from which platform we have to, gain knowledge on data analysis. All the things has been covered in this session. So I think it's very informative. We are getting good response also. So yeah, if any questions, please write in the chat box, or you can ask as well.
Any questions are there, please ask. Feel free to ask as many questions are there. Okay.
Can I please have the opportunity to ask the first question?
Yes, please.
Yes.
This is very informative and really useful for us. But since a student of National Security Studies and the program being conducted by SES University, Rashtriya Raksha University, I'm thinking of how we can analyze the data of criminal activities or criminal sort of related activities, data which we have in the police stations or in most of the security organizations. Then sort of predicting where
Next crime will occur.
Yeah, next crime perhaps may occur, or where are the places where most of the crimes are happened, and then so that we can increase the number of security parameters or sort of activities over a particular area or during a period of time, maybe during the time of elections or pre-elections, that kind, even in the terrorism infested areas also, JNK, Northeast, Naxal affected regions, how we can, because this is very useful otherwise, and then we don't have.
I'll answer into two parts, sir. This one thing is, the first answer is that there is a qualitative data which is there. Okay, there is a qualitative data that those who are doing some posting on tweets, right, Twitter. So there is the software NVivo that it can identify the tweet location from where such things or such words which are being used against the nation, they can capture all those profiles. First thing. The second software is the network, that is a Gephi and Netminer. They will try to find out who are in touch with you, right? The entire network, they will, there is a software Gephi and Netminer, GEPHI and Netminer. It will directly go to your Facebook and or probably your Instagram, and it will try to identify the entire channel which is working. Entire channel in the sense that who are your friends and how many times the communication has been done, and on that basis it will identify that network. This is second. The third thing is, when I talk about the prediction, then the crimes which have been taken, which have been took place in last year, on that basis you can use SPSS modeler to try to find out that what is a combination. When a particular combination happens, then this crime happens. I will show you one how SPSS modeler creates the network, right? Just a minute. How it creates a network. I'll share a screen with you. Just a minute. Just a minute, sir. I'm searching for that only.
Yes, please. Sure.
Is the screen visible?
No.
No, sir. Yeah. now
It's visible now.
Yes.
See, it builds a network. This is a web approach which is there. Okay, and this feature is there in SPSS modeler. Basically, this is the data which is related to the Titanic data set. Okay, that in what combinations were there that a person survived on Titanic or not. So it makes a web that when male, which is in you can say embarked from this particular and in the category 3, then there are less chances of survival. So such web can be created to identify the pattern of the crime. This is one way. Still another way can be that we can run this supervised model and try to find out the most significant factor in deciding the crime. So I had got an opportunity to work on Boston crime data set, and you get all sorts of patterns. Okay, all sorts of patterns. in which the crime is occurring. Basically, see, you have to sit on the data for, you can say, at least 1 month to come out with the correct picture that what is actually happening and why these crimes are happening. This is my answer. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Any other question is there? Feel free to ask. Any other question is there? Please feel free to ask. No question is there? Over to you, Jugal sir. Now I'll show you something more, right? Hello, can we start the session, Jugal sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. These all things which I am showing it to you, you don't have to pay single rupee anywhere. Okay, they are completely free things which I am, and they are possibly lifetime free. Okay, one of the thing which is there is when you go in R. Okay, so now there is a concept of is my screen visible, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, so now there is a concept of dashboards, right? Now see how it works, and people have started creating dashboards in on many platforms, right? So one of them is, if I talk about R, then there is a dashboard which is known as SQZ dashboard. And it is not possible when things are not possible to work on Excel, right? So is it visible? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Now, normally when I talk about Excel, you can only plot 2-dimension graph or 3-dimension graph. But when we want to understand the pattern, or when we want to analyze the pattern, it requires that we should be working on many variables simultaneously. We are not aware about what type of graph can be plotted, so you don't need to worry about anything. Now see the level of artificial intelligence and statistics together, what it can do. Okay, so basically this is a data set which is related to the empty cars, the default data set which is there in R. This MPG is miles per gallon. It is in continuous variable, right? Cylinders is displacement continuous, horsepower HP is continuous, D rate displacement rate continuous, weight continuous, Q set continuous, VS is a categorical data, vertical engine or a straight engine. VS, remember that. AM, automatic car or a manual, number of gears, categorical, carburetor, categorical. Now see, when I drop something, when I drop a continuous variable in X, see, it will plot the graph on its own. I don't know, but it has identified on its own that considering this type of data, you can plot the histogram. Drop this thing here. And now I plot the categorical data, automatic or a manual car. You can see AM, it has done it. Okay. Now, when I plot, there can be so many combinations. When I talk about univariate analysis, if the data is categorical, so you can have a bar chart, and if it is data is continuous, you can have a histogram. But there can be a possibility in bivariate. Bivariate means two variable. Continuous, categorical, continuous. This can be the possibility. Don't get confused. Simple. We will go by first. two categorical data at a time, AM and VS. Okay, AM and VS, right? 2 points are there. Why? Because it has taken the combinations, 4 combinations, 0 0. The another dots will be here, but this is not the right chart which we have to give. Okay, let us take two continuous. What is the effect of weight of the vehicle on its mileage? And it will give me the scatter plot. See, with the increase in weight, my mileage is decreasing, right? Is it done? Okay. Now let us ask another question, that the same relationship holds good for automatic and manual car. So automatic and manual, I can drop in FIS. So it will give me two different graphs for automatic and manual. See here, 1 and 0. I can drop my variables in different compartments. I say I don't want to create, you just give me in same graph. Make two different colors. See this, in same graph, automatic and manual. Okay, not by color, size should be different. You can see this according to the size. What is the, okay, make the groups, right? Make the groups. Okay, how many variables I can go on dropping? So I am saying automatic and manual, two things are bifurcated. Now also include the vertical and shaft engine, 3. Also include number of gears in it, size. How many variables we are working at a time? We are working 5. And tell me according to the carburetor pill. Just see how many variables. 6 variables we are working at that time, right? This is not only the power. What is another power? Let us see. The another power is its artificial intelligence will work on its own, and it can also give you the suggestion. The suggestions are, let's say for example, you are having only one weight. I click on it and I want to say what are the possible other plots I can do. So when it is disabled, it means that this cannot be plotted, it will not work. Okay, so there are no chance of mistakes which can happen in plotting the wrong graph. So I say make a box plot. So it will make a box plot because it is available. See, this box plot has been plotted. Okay, what else it can do? Now it can filter the data directly, right? You don't require to run the long command. Say for example, I want to filter some data. Just click on it, and when I scroll the button, it will filter the data that this data is not there in now. I can work on this. I don't want more than 6 cylinders. Okay, it directly talks to the data, right? It is directly talking to the data. So this is known as talking to the data in their language. Okay, it also generates its what is artificial intelligence? The code which we are writing, it is generated on its own. We have not written a single piece of command. I can copy this code directly in our language and the graph will start working. There can be a plot options. Okay, what are the plot options? I drop the weight here, weight and mileage. I want to have some line representation. So I go in plot, add a smooth line. Yes. And you can see the smooth line has been added. Right? I can label, I can have a plot options, I can change the appearance, I can talk to the data, the codes are generated, I copy this code from here, I cancel it, and when I go in the original data frame, and when I run this code here, on your right hand side, the graph is being generated. This is dashboards. Second thing which is coming on your screen is Google Data Studio. Free. Okay. How it works? So when you should have your Gmail account, right? And I am having this workshop in the month of October on this, right? How it works? Just go in blank report. It will give you an canvas. When it gives you the canvas, you just have to select the data file. Okay, this data file upload, and it will ask that you want to work on which data file. So I'm saying that okay, I want to work on employee data, right? Add. Okay. Right. Now it has given me all the combinations which are possible, but I am saying that no, add a chart. I want another chart, line chart. Drop it. Just drop it. Okay. And please include the dimension into it. Sales. See, the graph is being plotted. Okay, sales. Then what I can do, add a control, put the filter in it. Okay, the slider. I can put the slider. Okay, in slider I can this filter is not working. Add a control, advanced, right? This filter, view, enter the value equal to 2001 and see the changes which are happening. It will give me the answer, right? So these are all filters which I can use. 2003, enter. Right. Edit. I can again come back here. I can edit it. I can use the themes to represent this chart in a better way. That please use this theme. I want to represent this, so I can use this. I can also insert my images. Now, what is the another power is this is having you can say streaming. It can do the live streaming. Depending upon the data, this graph will change on its own. And that's the reason it works on cloud. Okay. The last, which is most powerful software, and you can say which is on the top, and that is Tableau. Is it visible? Jugal sir, hello. Is it visible?
Yes, it's very much visible.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is considered to be at present the industry requirement, right? Industry requirement. Now see, this is the actual data set which is there of Superstore, and on left hand side these are all the variables. Again, this is metric and this is non-metric, right? Now what it can do, I will just drop the profit. I'll just drop the segment and profit into the canvas and see what it does. Done. This is not the end. I can go in show me and I will say, please give me the bar chart. Done. I can flip it and it will flip and the graph is ready. This is not the end. Okay. And the tableau enough and the tableau is not enough. Okay. How many dimensions? 2 dimensions. Okay. What else it can do? So this is a graph of profit with the segment of the business. Now I can pick up the sales and I can drop the sales into the color. So the same bar chart has got the sales. So if it is very dark, the sales are good here. The same sales I can drop it in size and you can see what it does. The same sales I can drop it in label. I can keep the sales in the label and now I can drop the quantity color. I can drop the discount in size. How many variables? You're working on how many variables at a time? 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I include something more? Yes, definitely you can include. Go in ship mode. How many variables? Right. This is the tableau. Okay. It's each and every canvas, each and every portion is active. What do I mean by that thing is, okay, what do I mean by that thing is, I will reset all these things. Okay. And I will start with the fresh data. Suppose I again pick up sales and segment and drop it here. I say so bar chart. Sorry, this bar chart. Skip. Now, if I pick up the ship mode, if I drop the ship mode here, the graph will be different. Okay, graph will be different. Okay, if I drop the ship mode here, the graph will be different. Okay, if I drop the ship mode here, the graph will be different. Okay, if I drop the ship mode here, okay, ship mode here, okay, ship mode here, ship mode here. Okay, what else it can do? Depending upon your variable, it will identify that what are the charts which can be plotted. Okay, so suppose if I say profit and sales, drop it, show me. So it will give me that according to your variable, these are the only combinations which it can plot. So I say give me the scatter plot. So scatter plot is ready, but here only one is there, 1 point is there. I will have to change it and I will have to make the individual data points. Right? This is the way it works. What is its power? So it is having a power that it can have the customized chart and the standardized chart. What is the difference between them? I'll show that. Wait. So this is my training module. Okay. It can plot the pie charts. Okay. It can have a side by side chart. Okay. stack chart. It can also have a text tables. I can tell that the business which is in dark blue is profitable, in orange not doing well. So I can have a color text tables like this. Also I can have it. I can have a bubble chart. It can also analyze the PDF file. It can read the PDF. It can read the data from PDF file. It can create the tree maps. It can create the heat maps. It can create the area chart, discrete chart. It can represent two variables, two chart in one, like this also. It can create circle views charts, discrete line chart. Discrete line chart, I will show it. Wait a minute. I'll show it here from here only data. This is a line chart, right? According to the year, how our profits are there, sales are there. Now I want to include profit and I make it in the color, right? Or a size. Okay, according to the segment, how it is. So according to the segment, where should I drop the segment? I will drop the segment here. So you can see how it's working, how our segment is working. Okay. According to the discounts, how it is working, color. Right. So we are giving very large discounts in consumer section. So that's also possible. Right. Bullet charts. It can create the bullet charts. Box and whiskers plot. Dual combination. It can do, that's a combo chart which is being done. It can do combo chart. Okay. It can also understand the spatial data which I was talking about. It can work on the maps. It can also work on Indian maps. It can identify the coordinates, right? Such charts can also be made. It can create a Gantt chart. Histograms, scatter plot. But apart from it, there are some very beautiful charts which it can make, which are beyond imaginations in some softwares, like a divergent bar chart. Now there are some periodicals or there are some magazines which require a very fancy way of representation of the chart, right? So wait a minute, I'll show that thing. Some fancy charts which can be plotted. Yeah, this type of chart. It is known as a lollipop chart. Then pie chart on the maps. Then actually this is complete. This is 40 hours session training pro of PPT. It's a 40 hours training session on Tableau. Okay. Yeah, this type of chart. Likert scale analysis. Okay. Key performance indicators. We can have a chart like this, or a chart like this, that which is a business which is going up, which is a business which is going down. This we can use. Then there is calendars. We can create calendar chart. These are the calendars. We can create donut charts. Then I can create the butterfly here. Wait, there is a butterfly chart also which is coming up. Yeah, this is divergent bar chart, right? So this is a DNA chart. I can create the layers which you are seeing in that, which are the depending upon it's known as 3D layer or which type of territorial maps which I want, right? It can work on Indian maps also. See, can identify the latitude and longitude. I can work on our Indian maps also. How to do that? That is procedure is there. Then I can create such type of chart which is there in tabloids. Then there is a waffle chart. It takes a lot of time. I had taken somewhere around 1 month to make this chart, waffle chart. How the finally it looks, I'll show it. This is the waffle chart. Recently I had gone for sunburst chart. This is also possible. Funnel is also possible. This is also possible. Then there is something which is known as a scenario analysis. This is a sunburst chart, very recent addition which I had done. So I keep learning things on my own. See, this is a sunburst chart. So thank you. Over to you. Over to you, Jugal sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So anyone wants to ask any question on this particular session? So please.
So you can remain connect with me. This is my number.
Yeah. So if anyone has any question, please contact to sir directly. It was really a very nice session because he has taken theoretical as well as practical part. Practical part is really important, which I feel, because you can use you will come to know like which other tools are available and how to use it. So I guess it was really very informative. So any quick question you can we can take only 2 minutes now. Otherwise we'll go for lunch break. Any quick question, please.
Any question, if you are having, feel free to ask.
Yes.
Feel free to ask. No?
I
Okay.
think we will end the session now.